What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For The Record. I'm your host, Rob Markman. Now, today's guest is special.
Hey.
I know I say that a lot,
Hey.
but this is truly a special guest. We go back so many years. We were just talking off camera about it. He's been in the game for a minute.
Let go.
Veteran.
Hey.
But the energy is still brand
Going
new.
on.
New album out.
Third Coast K.R.I.T.
K.R.I.T here.
Let's go.
What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Just, doing the ad-lib, Diddy thing. You a rapper.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
Listen, man, we gotta get in the studio. You ain't saying nothing with
I'm
the
just
word.
saying, I got the soulful beats. Believe that, though. You already know.
I need that. Listen.
Yeah.
Then I don't even want to get into that.
Well,
I recorded over one of your beats.
You ain't send it to me
years ago because Johnny Shipes never sent it to me off the hard drive.
Did we clear it?
Absolutely, we did not.
Okay, I just need to know because I'm taxing.
But what we did clear is this new album, man.
Okay.
K.R.I.T is here, man. First of all, I remember when we first met, man. I was working at XXL magazine.
Yeah.
I had first heard you. I know I first got familiar with you on the Wiz Khalifa, the Cushion Orange Juice mixtape.
Glass House. The currency. Yeah.
Yep. And Glass House came out, and it was like, we knew who Spitter was. I knew who Spitter was. I knew who Wiz was, of course. I'm like, who's this? It didn't take long before, right after Glass House, we get a whole mixtape.
Yeah.
K.R.I.T was here.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around, it's like, who is this K.R.I.T?
Mm-hmm.
And I need to bring him up to XXL.
Yeah.
Turns out my man Johnny Shipes.
Yeah.
You guys were running together at the time. And that's when we first met. And, I think it's fitting because the new album is K.R.I.T is here.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about K.R.I.T was here.
Okay.
And it kind of feels like two distinct chapters in the story for me. So break down how we go from was here to is here.
So K.R.I.T was here was like my last hurrah, right? I'm thinking like, man, if I'm gonna get the attention of the labels, the support from the people, I gotta put every jam and record that I have in my hard drive that I made on one album. That's why it's such a long album. And it's East Coast feeling, Southern. It got the bounce of New Orleans, but then I got West Coast records on it, like to the maximum. And so it was like me showing people that I belong in this arena of hip hop in general. No, just because I'm from Mississippi doesn't mean anything. I can spit. And so to come to this point, 9 years later, to drop K.R.I.T is here. The 10-year anniversary of K.R.I.T was here, was popping. This album had to also showcase that I'm in this arena. I've been hitting home runs the entire time. I work with my OGs. I'm right there with my peers, and then showcasing my confidence as an artist, as a producer, and a wordsmith, whatever you want to say.
Right.
And then also utilizing the support that I had seen over the years from Multi as a family and all the people that come out to the tours that wanted to see me here. And now I'm like, all right, bet I'm finna go there. Let's go. And then they are with me and it's going down. You feel me?
It's dope, man. It feels like in a lot of ways a payoff for the fans who have been around and supporting you and rooting for you for years. And particularly the video in a very emotional way, particularly for the video for K.R.I.T here.
Yeah. The Deacon Spin, celebrating.
Yeah. but there's so many Easter eggs. I mean, it really shows how far you come. Like there's little Easter eggs, like there's lyrics from songs, from old songs, like the R4 theme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See Me on Top. Like there's like if you pause the video, you can read lyrics in it. And then, there's the whole skit in the middle about Plantation Records 2010.
Yeah.
It's a lot. This is a densely layered video. What was the concept for the K.R.I.T here video?
I got to shout out Child, the director. Like, she's amazing. And she also directed the Energy video as well. Right. So she was a supporter in the early part of my career. She seen my visuals. She was working as an intern or just trying to get her feet in the game as well as a director. She had an understanding of what she thought my music should look, like my video should look, how I should be presented. And so when we got the first treatment, which is Energy, and she also had directed for Lucky Day as well. You know what I'm saying? The homie.
Shout out to Lucky Day.
It was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, I literally didn't have to hit back, change nothing. Then getting on the K.R.I.T here, it was like, oh, she really gets it because she saw me go through the transition of being signed to a label, how maybe some of the visuals might have seen or how I might not have been presented the way that I needed to be presented or they didn't get the light that they needed. And she was like, nah, we're going to do this. Every video for her is like, we trying to get video of the year. Let's go. And it's amazing. And she understands my music and how I've been as an artist and what I speak to as far as the people.
Right, and now you're completely independent. You have been for some time. Your last album,
yeah, I mean,
you was off of Def Jam.
Definitely independent then. Right. I mean, Distro through BMG, And it's one of those situations where I don't have to walk into like a boardroom. You know the play.
Yeah.
You know, you have to play your music for people that may be aware or maybe not. And then they're like, I like this record. I hate every other record. What are you really talking about? It's not that case. It's like we sit down as a team and it's a collective effort. Album come together. This is the best body of music. And that's what we running with. And that's it. It's not a back and forth. Like this is the single. This is the cover. This is the rollout. And it's multi.
And it's the confidence that you know who you are.
Yeah.
In the video, there's that kind of break that we talking about, the Plantation record break. If y'all haven't seen the video, definitely go watch it. Finish watching this whole entire interview.
Okay, so I can break off now. Watch the video.
And then go watch the video right after.
Yeah.
But is that how it felt being signed to a major? You know, because there's this scene and there's these slave traders, right? In the video, remarking on certain rappers. Oh, he's a thug. Oh, nah, he don't have a baby mother, so he's worth $1,000.
Yeah.
He's not as street. He's worth. And then when it comes to you, it's like, man, he's a lyricist or whatever.
Okay.
He's Southern or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, just give me $900 or something like that. which is first of all, it's kind of like shocking.
It took
jarring.
a lot to even film that part.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're in chains. So just the whole acting part and the emotional toll that it takes. But then it also has a real kind of social remark too. So I just want to get into the mindset.
Shock value is a thing, right? It's like the story of an artist that comes from nothing has something to say, right? Underground, lyrical, would be not the most promoted artist that you would know. It's what can I put in front of people that even if they hate it, the most hate is gonna still get the most promotion. Because people in the train, like people want to see the train wreck sometimes. And so if you understand that as a person that's in the industry and you don't necessarily make music and understand how it's affecting people's soul, like their souls, the mentality, then it's like, all right, this is a quick buck and this is gonna make it. And we can keep flipping this. This person isn't aware of the damage they're doing, they're just getting that check. Me, I'm aware of the damage that I might have done as a younger artist. I'm aware of the social climate that we're in. And I take heed to when one of my partners get killed out here in these streets and had something to say, and I put that in my music. And that's knowledge that people need to hear, but it's not as promoted as the negativity might be. Because even when people dislike the negativity, they still post it.
But yeah, you know, and I
sometimes
I go back most times.
And
you know, I go back a lot of it, and I think you're right. A lot of it is the engine of the industry. Negativity sells faster. We focus on negativity. I mean, you know, you just look at horrible situations like, you know, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
You know, and now that he's jammed up and in trouble, you know, I see tweets now like, oh my God, you remember him? Like, dog, it was maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago.
Might have been that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say, you know, I also put it on the fans too, and I feel like the fans have a responsibility. Media has a responsibility. These labels, these artists, and fans. Like, if you share something, even to hate it, even if you be like, man, look at this dumb shit. Somebody feeds into an algorithm. It still counts as a number, as a retweet, as a view. Yeah. And there's no delineation as to I shared it because I liked it or I shared it because I hated it. That's you shared it, you spread it, and you made it bigger than what it was.
It's that song that come on in your playlist. Like, man, I never listen to that. What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nah, absolutely, man. And you've never been that type. I always felt like with your music, there's been intent, there's been reason, there's been a purpose behind it. One thing that had me curious about this particular album, because aside from being a lyricist and a dope lyricist, you're an amazing producer.
Yeah, but I only did one. Only did one record.
You stepped back as a producer on this album. You did one record.
Yeah.
How hard was that? What was the decision going into that?
I mean, it was difficult, but then, man, there's some amazing producers. There's some people out here that they make beats, and I'm like, damn, bro, I would have never done that. Like the way the synthesizers that they use, the musicality that goes into a record. But I tell people, like, I was literally on Rico Love conference. He does a conference every year for musicians, like people that's in the music industry. I'm on stage, and Mace is on stage too. And Rico Love literally puts me on blast in front of like 500 people. Like, man, I feel like you're not doing the supporters, like the people that support you, not doing them justice by staying in your comfort zone. You need to make bigger records for yourself. You need to work with other producers, other artists. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And then from that point, I went and worked with him for this album. And Danger, Rico Love and my manager Dutch executive produced my album. I worked with Danger, DJ Camper, Wallace Lane, Khalil, Tay Beast, Music Major, the homie Bird got some production credit on this as well. I produced 1 record. Wolf the Michaels produced 3 records on this. Like I was really like, you know what? I gotta get out of my comfort zone. All these producers got different cadences to their beats, different drum patterns. The way they chop up samples, I would never do. The way they bring musicians in, and like, everything was like, you know what? I haven't learned as much as I thought as a producer, and they freed me up to just write. And then they was honest, like if I didn't snap, like man, you could do better than that. And so, Don Corleone too. I can't forget Don. Yeah.
So it's funny because we're talking about almost 10 years into your career, and even before that, because you was grinding, there was several mixtapes.
See Me on Top 1 came out 2005.
So yeah, but let's say 10 years in terms of the national consciousness, everybody like the arrival, right? Just to put a nice number on it. And you're still willing to go back to the drawing board if a producer says, nah, you ain't snap hard enough.
Of course. You know that. You know what it's like. Like you write that verse, you confident, you look around in that room and everybody's like, I've heard you be like that before. Like it's cool. You know, and then you're like, all right, Bill, let me change this up. There's different cadences, different flows in the pocket. I don't have to rap on the hi-hat. Maybe I can rock with the snare. There's a cowbell. Maybe there's a cymbal I can catch with. I mean, cadence carrying is like, it's an art in itself. And some people really understand it and they stick to it. And so me, it's like, there's no reason why I should sound the same on every song on my album. Every song I'm different cadence carrying. Because I can. It's an art form of hip hop.
That's dope. Second verse on Make It Easy.
Hey.
Probably my favorite verse.
Let's go.
On the whole joint. Yeah. Let's be honest, I'm better. I did it without the vouchers and the feathers that they tethered to keep you together.
Yeah.
The distance I jumped off the porch just couldn't be measured. Your metaphors make sense. Never make sense in the storm that I weathered.
Yeah.
I felt like you said a lot. That whole verse is kind of. Yeah. Do you feel like that? Let's get into these words a little bit. Let's be honest, I'm better.
Yes.
Confidence, supreme level.
Yes. I produce and I rap top tier. You know how hard that is?
Right.
And I can mix engineer. I am probably one of the few artists you can put in the studio without anyone, and I'll come out with an album by myself. I don't mix it, and it might even compete with some of the mixing that you got going on right now in this industry. I mixed it, recorded it, wrote the hooks, made the beats, and I'm top tier rapping.
Right.
Come on, man. So imagine if I didn't make beats at all and I didn't mix, what kind of artist would I be?
Right. Because you wouldn't have to concentrate or spend time in that. You could just spend
time
with
rapping.
The pen. That's hard. This I never thought about, right? I did it without the vouchers and feathers that they tethered to keep you together. The distance I jumped off the porch just couldn't be measured. The fact of a cosign or somebody ushering you in the game, like you really worked for everything.
All my and I mean I saw my OGs have to do the same thing though, right? And I talk about this on Forever's a Mile Long Time intro, Geography Lottery, which I mean you it's not your fault where you were born. You're born in either you're in a metropolitan city or you're in the South or you're in the country or you rural or whatever. For me, it's like where I'm from, people don't know about it. I learned about a lot of metropolitan cities growing up, whether they knew about my city or not. I was like, man, that's where you go to make it. TV is like, that's where you go to make it. And so for me, it's like I knew I had to go from where I was from and keep traveling to get to where you make it. Imagine if you jump off the porch and you can make it literally in your backyard. Right. And I wish I could have had that opportunity. I didn't. So my road was going to be less traveled. I had to follow the paths of the UGKs, the Ghetto Boys, you know what I'm saying? The Paul Walls, Slim Thugs, Chameleonaires, the Outcasts, the Goody Mobs, because just wasn't as easy. When this is what's being played on the radio, this is what you got to sound like for it to be a hit record. This is where the labels are at. And I had to move. Right. So, yeah, it changes the narrative. And I can't even be mad at none of my peers, man. If you born where it's popping, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish, you know.
Country boy killing your favorite rap is bound to shock you.
Yeah.
You know, you had a quote. I watched the piece of content, the conversation that you put out with your dad.
Yeah.
And you talk about the competitive nature that he instilled in you, maybe by putting you in baseball early. And I feel like that competitiveness is a push and a pull a little bit, right? Because you're extremely competitive, but sometimes the competition could drive you crazy, right?
It can be unhealthy. Yeah.
Talk about that.
I mean, it's just when you wake up and you're not angry, right? And hip hop can put you in a position where you have it's a gladiator sport. It's like, man, well, yep, you know that just happened. What you gonna do? It's like, man, I really just want to write soulful music and kick it. Like, nah, bro, what you gonna do? And so for me, it was like after Mount Olympus, after the tours and the bitterness that I may have went through. I dropped Forever's in my own time. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm just not angry anymore. I had a conversation with my dad prior to that where I was like, just tell me I don't need to compete anymore, and I won't. And I've done enough, and everything that happens from this point on is just a blessing, and we good. And he gave me that freedom. I needed to hear him say that because since I was playing T-ball, it was like win, be the best, beat everybody. The award means you did your best. And I took that from baseball through band to actually being an artist, being a rapper. And it made it hard for me to listen to other people's music because every time I hear like, I could go harder than that. It made it hard for me to like praise my friends or my peers. And I need to let that go because it was a survival tactic in the beginning and then just became a burden.
But you know, hip hop too is the perfect breeding ground for. It's unlike, you know, I don't think they necessarily go through that in pop. Country,
jazz, blues. I mean, you got headhunters. If you go to a show and it's a young cat, like he's gonna try to kill you on stage, right? But if he does, that means he's talented. And normally, if you're talking about blues or jazz, you bring him along because he probably don't know the business. He don't know the ropes. He just raw talent. Hip hop is probably one of the few genres where we compete against each other the entire time. And if you're young, you're like, I ain't even listening to the OGs. When in retrospect, we are the youngest genre too. So we haven't seen somebody get a Lifetime Achievement Award yet.
Right.
Because everybody's still rapping. They got something to say. So, I mean, it is what it is. It comes with the territory.
That's dope. Now, and you said something on the track on Every Time that resonated with me because, you know, even being in this field of journalism and an artist as well. Yeah. We're taught to compete with each other. It's like, you know, I want a better interview. B-Dot is my man. Yeah. But if I know you went to B-Dot and Elliot, and then you come in here right after, I'm like, nah, I gotta kill him. I gotta let it go. I gotta get something out of K.R.I.T that nobody else got.
Yeah, I got different questions for you.
But And that's healthy to an extent.
Yeah.
But you said something that I thought was dope. If I compete with me, there's no second place. If I compete with me, there's no loss to take.
Not at all. Every time.
What was the moment that you got comfortable with that? Was it that conversation with your dad?
Well, it was that conversation with my dad, and I realized, man, people want to see me with my peers, Cole, Kendricks, right? But every time we get to talking about music, they be like, but yo, Return of Forever, that was the joint. Forever is a Mile on Time, that was the joint. Forever in a Day, that was the joint. K.R.I.T was here, that's the joint. So musically, they weren't comparing me to my peers. They just wanted to see me in that same light or on that same stage at an award show. But musically, they're thinking of me from what I dropped prior, when they first heard me, my first introduction to them. If they've been riding, so like, you know what? I'm competing with myself. And so there's no real L in this because I'm growing. Like, I'm going to have those fans, or those supporters that will listen to me back then, and I'm going to gain new supporters. And then we all going to have this big family barbecue that we call a tour. And then we're going to share these old experiences and these new experiences, and it's going to keep growing. Because as I get older, it's going to be new people. And the old supporters, they my street team. They putting people on, barbershops, beauty shops, don't matter. You know, I just got to make sure I'm putting out quality music, man.
You know, you mentioned Mount Olympus earlier, which was your reaction to Control.
Well, reaction, response.
Response? How you want to say?
Reaction/response.
Reaction/response to Control. Yeah. You know, I think about it because, again, we kind of came up together. I see our careers as parallel. My career on the journalist side, I was young. I was at XXL. I was interviewing Big K.R.I.T.
Yeah.
Not because you were dope, you know what I'm saying? But I remember at the time.
They sent me to you.
No, I sought you out.
Okay, baby.
I sought you out. But I also wasn't allowed to do the Jay-Z interviews, the Lil Wayne interviews, the Dr. Dre interviews.
Okay.
You know, those didn't come until I got to MTV and a little more respected that I was be able to put in those rooms. But XXL wouldn't put me in those rooms.
Okay.
And
Damn,
so what I did, so what I did was I sought out the young talent. And it wasn't like a grand scheme. It just kind of happened naturally. So I'm paying more attention to the K.R.I.T s, the Mac Millers, the Wiz Khalifas, the Kendricks,
Yeah.
the Coles, you know what I'm saying, and part of the staff like fighting for you guys to have a space. And I remember those freshman covers. My two favorites were that I worked on was the J. Cole, the Wiz Khalifa, rest in peace Nipsey, Gibbs was on there, Sean, and then right after that was you, Kendrick, Meek Mill,
R.I.P.
Sci-Hi
Mac.
the Prince, R.I.P. Mac Miller. And it felt dope because it felt like we was all kind of young.
We
in
were
it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were. Like, yeah.
So I guess the question is, when does that start to change? Everybody then starts to become really, you guys are the future, and Nipsey isn't here and Mac isn't here, rest in peace. But their present is felt. Like you guys are really the present of rap. Then you were the future, and now y'all really holding it.
Man,
how do y'all go from that point A to where you are now? All of you guys.
The crazy thing is, I think a lot of the homies, we didn't expect it to get this far. We were just excited in the moment, right? So it's like deer in headlights. Oh man, I can't believe I'm here. I remember seeing Sci-Hi in the airport. Like we was taking a red eye. I looked at him. He looked at me. He was like, "You going? Well, I think you're going." I was like, "Yeah." We couldn't talk about it. I was like, "Don't talk about it." Like, "Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, this is crazy." But I mean, we was just making music, and the game had changed because we were all touring. So when you like that cover, like everybody on that cover probably had a tour they had to go to, and we was dropping mixtapes, and it was just like this freedom. And then you get picked up from a label, but you already had your identity, or you understood what you wanted to do musically, and everybody had their own buzz and their own wave. And I don't know, man, it was a great time to me in hip hop, because once you even when a lot of us got to the success, we never really changed because we kept our friends around us. And when we see each other, like, bro, how you doing, man? How the fam doing? Like, this shit crazy. It's one of those situations. But, you know, when something like that happens to Nip, you know, when things like that happen, like when with Mac, it's like, it just brings us back to a position where we got to give our roses while we're on top side of this earth. Yeah. So when we get around each other, we huddle like, bro, if you never need me, just call me. Like, bro, it's bigger than this music thing. Like, man, anything, bro. We just catch a bite to eat. We on that level now. Like, we ain't tripping on that rap competitive. It's like, man, bro, how's your mental state? Like, you know, you in the gym, you eating better, like you on your vegan shit. Like, it's one of those situations.
That's dope. That's why it was so dope to hear you and Cole together on Prove It. And, you know, especially like his verse, he was rapping about
Felicia.
But even before the Felicia thing, and the Felicia thing was potent and powerful, right? But it's funny because you think, you know, I'm doing music now, I start to think as a writer, and how did he start this verse? Okay, he's a guest on a K.R.I.T song. And he starts talking about the first time that he heard you, and he shouts out Felton Brown as the guy who put
him on the K.R.I.T was in, and he put him on the K.R.I.T. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that had to take you. Like, where are you in the studio together when y'all working?
Nah, so I hit him. I hit him, and I was like, bro, I need you on this record. And like he had a lot going on with you know what I'm saying, with the Dreamville album. And so the homie definitely took the time out to be able to do that, and took his time doing it. So it wasn't this rush thing, and because I had already had the record, but I knew he would be perfect for it. And Cole was the first person, it happened in 2012, bro, to tell me, look, work with other producers, bro. You got to. Work with other producers so you can learn as a producer, and you're going to be surprised at things that you write. So this is the first album, again, where I just was totally like, I'm working with other people. And so it's crazy. He told me that in 2012 when I'm playing him live from the underground. Like, yo, this is jamming. But, man, maybe you should get in with other producers, and, you know, full circle. Now we here, and he jumps on a record that is produced by a young producer and kills it, and then brings full circle this energy that we have now.
That's super dope. Now, I was dope, man. Like, hearing that kind of brought me back and made me realize how far
we didn't come. That was a long time, bro.
And Believe and Prove It come back to back in this sequence. Is there a specific reason for that? Because they feel kind of connected.
Definitely.
In a way, man. I felt like that wasn't an accident.
So Believe was supposed to have Nipsey on it. And I reached out, sent him the record. I had actually saw him in Atlanta around the time I actually had that song. And then, you know, we was excited. Boom, boom, boom. Bro, I need you to jump on this record. Confirmed. Everything was good. I'm literally playing the record the morning that happened to the homie. Wow. And there was no one I could figure out to put on the song. So I finished it myself, and I gave the homie an ado at the end. It just made so much sense for Prove It to be the next record, because if you believe in me as much, and it's not even so much about a bare arm situation.
Yeah.
I mean, my verse is very, very militant in itself, but it's more about if you believe in me, then show me. Like if you love me, show me. Like now, you don't have to wait till I'm gone. And even if you do wait till I'm gone, then just make sure it's in the most positive way possible.
Right.
And I think Cole was able to turn that around for all the people that supported me and people that support your music throughout these years. We have to let them know, like, thank you for believing in me this song. And proving it every time I see you.
That's why this album resonated with me so much, man, and particularly those two records and the sequence of those two records, because I have the same my last project that I just dropped. It's called "It's Too Late at the Wake."
Yeah.
And it's really give me the flowers while I can smell them. Let me give you the flowers while you can still smell them. And a lot of that, and I never said this before, like thinking about Mac, specifically, and Combat Jack. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who I looked up to, a friend of mine.
All of us did.
Yeah, man. But I hear something from you in this song, especially Believe Me, man. You mentioned wanting to be a father a couple of times, man. All this drinking ain't gonna fail my liver. I'm gonna live to be a father figure better than my father figure.
Yeah.
And then you come scared I'll die young with no children to hold, no one to leave what I own.
Yeah. I'll grow old and forget who I knew. I might forget who I know. Yeah, I lose who I know. I might forget who I know. Yeah.
How in this part of your life, how much are you thinking about legacy, children, leaving on, building? Like what's up with that?
To the max. I mean, the music industry is like a bubble. We've been doing this for so long. I know you go home or you go visit some of your family and friends, and like your niece and nephews getting older, everybody's growing up. You're like, man, but you and yourself hasn't changed because you've been doing this. It's like me, I go home and I'm like, man, I don't feel like I aged at all.
Right.
And everybody's like, life is changing. People are graduating like, oh man, you 13 now? Like, wow, like it's crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go drop this album. It's like I've been doing this in this rotation. So it's about trying to figure out a way to start connecting with life outside of hip hop or outside of music. Because this is all I ever knew. This is what I was good at, and I pursued it, and it was my dream. But there's a lot of things I put on the back burner that I need to come back around and be like, you know what? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a vacation. It's okay to connect with people that I lost connection with because I had to do that rollout.
Right. And actually, brother, you look like you haven't aged at all. The beard got
Ain't
longer.
That crazy? I grew the hair just to show them I could. Don't get it twisted. My hairline is intact.
Impeccable.
Thank you, man. Oils and berries, we on it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, man. And then the Mississippi record.
Yeah, maybe I'm so southern I sometimes get ignorant people's perception of independence.
Acronym. That genius. That was genius. That was like literally.
Hey man, that's perfect here.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, I had it written down too, just so you know. Look,
I'll slow it down.
I got it.
You gonna say it? You can say it. Let's see it.
Nah, I'm gonna fuck it up though.
Hold
on. Maybe I'm so. You ready?
Let's go.
Maybe I'm so southern I sometimes scare ignorant people's perception of independence.
Let's go. You ain't have to say it as fast as I did, but yeah.
This is a competitive sport. What you do? I'm not gonna let you out rap me. Even if you did write it.
The rapper just came out, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk to me about that record, man.
Oh man, so shout out to Danger. He produced it. DJ Camper's doing the keys. So Danger played me the record, right? And I was like, man, this is so jazzy. It's just the rhythm is just ridiculous. And I've tried to write to it. I was like, man, I can't write to this. And my engineer's in the room, engineered by Wolf. Shout out to Micah. And so I'm like, bro, I'm gonna freestyle the verse. I freestyled the whole verse, bro. Because it's like it was so intricate that I just had to find these random pockets to do it. And then at the end, I was like, this is Mississippi. It's erratic, it's beautiful, it's jazz, it's blues, it's cultural. And I was like, man, I'm gonna come up with an acronym for Mississippi. And I sat down and I came up with an acronym, and then it became what it is. They put the horns on. They just spent a lot of time making this record have all these intricate breakdowns from the 808 and the snare, and then it became what it is now. I got to be the first person to have a positive acronym, Mississippi.
Yeah,
I promise.
Absolutely, but I think it transcends generations now. I think this is potentially the one that sticks for the next set of artists coming up that's gonna run with that.
Let's go
with pride. Which kind of brings me to my next question. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Nipsey and Mac and just leaving a legacy, right? I hope those brothers know, because you could see it now, and I hope they felt it when they were alive, how important they were, how impactful, how much they changed people's lives. You know what I'm saying? You see it now, there's more posts than ever, Nipsey's album sells
through
the roof after he passes away, unfortunately. But I hope he felt it. And it made me think about K.R.I.T, King Remembered in Time.
Yeah.
And I felt like with that concept that you always carry with you, that maybe you felt that you was gonna get your flowers one way or another. If it wasn't now, I'm in time.
I might not be. I mean, the idea of the name is I won't be here to see it, which will keep me in a position where I'm always gonna try to do better as an artist and create as an artist. And the homies, even speaking on them, I think when you're creating in the moment and how you feel, you're not thinking about, oh man, I hope this take off or this hit. The interview they were doing, they were just speaking how they felt right then, and then they translate past that day. That's what makes something timeless when you're in the moment. Like, man, I'm going through this right now. And let me tell you about this. Oh, this is the music I want to put out. Whether you buy into it now or not, this is what I want to put out. And then you see how it affects people later on down the line, how it impacts the community, how it changes the narrative of hip hop, because they were telling you the truth. They were right on the cuff of, hey man, I'm bigger than just doing music. Like, I'm an intelligent individual. I got something to say to the people. You might have been a blind because there's so many flash and lights and things going on, but bare minimum, when we become human in the midst of it all and you start listening to these interviews and hear people talk, you take something from that and you can take it home. You start hugging your kids a little bit different. You talk to your parents a little bit different. And I think that's just the connection that music can have, because we all speak this. The music is the only language that everyone speaks. And these interviews that we have are like the basic, hey man, how you feeling? And so once we get past the mirage of being a superhero rapper in the moment, the chains and the cars and shit, and we get to like, hey man, look, today I feel like this, and I hope you understand, and if you don't, maybe you will. And you see that now. And I hate for it to have to lose somebody for people to start getting that understanding, but life is tricky, man. You know how it is.
That's why I think now when you'll forever be K.R.I.T, you know what I'm saying, and you'll forever be a king. But I want us to recognize that now. Brother. I want, you know, and even I'm talking me and you.
Yeah. I mean,
personally, we probably do this every time you have an album that comes out, and quite frankly, we might have missed a few, and we've known each other for 10 years. Yeah. So just as a vow to recognize your greatness and your genius, and give you your flowers while you're still here, brother, because the heart and the soul that you put into the music is important. And with the other stuff that we get that we was talking about earlier, the quick hits, the fast food, the stuff that goes viral really quickly, we'll always have that. It'll never change, but we'll always need this. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to leave you with that.
Porch. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
But man, the new album, man, K.R.I.T is here.
Yeah. It's out now.
Out now, man. Go stream it. Go check it out. Definitely go check out that video, K.R.I.T Here, that we was talking about earlier.
Okay, yeah. I can break away from the camera.
Yeah. 4-4.
Keep going. Yeah. It's going down. Third Coast.
Check us out, man, next week. Hey. For the record.
For the record. Let it go.